your Indian consumer.
Moto G3, Moto G 2015, Moto G LTE, God knows what all they are calling it. There are so many rumors out there, and in this video I'm going to tell you my impressions of the Moto G3, that is Moto G 2015. So stay tuned. So firstly, let's talk about the release date of Moto G3, that is Moto G 2015. So if we look into Moto G1, that was 2013, and Moto G2, which was 2014, Moto G1 was released in November 2013. Moto G2 was released in September 2014. And Moto G3, there are speculations that it will be released in July 2015, but I feel, this is my personal opinion, that I feel it will still be released in September 2015. So that is what I feel. The release date and the release month will be September 2015, which will be done along with the Moto X. So first they will announce the Moto X, and then soon they will announce the Moto G3. That is how Motorola has always come out with the product. Well, that is my take on the release date. Let's see what the technical specifications will be like.
There are plenty of speculations out there. Simply if you Google Moto G3 right now in Google, you will find all these links, and we will see 2-3 of them closely. So firstly, here I have the gadgets.ndtv.com, and they have captured a mistake done by Flipkart. Flipkart had accidentally listed Moto G3, the third generation phone, on their site, and soon they took it off. The tech spec that we captured there was 1.7 GHz Snapdragon 610 processor with a 2GB RAM, 5 or 5.2 inch Full HD display, and of course it is a 4G LTE model, and this is a 64-bit cell phone. One very important thing that we observed on Flipkart was they reduced the Moto G 2nd gen price from around 13,000 to 11,000 there. The slash in the prices closely signifies that the release of Moto G 3rd gen is closing around the corner. Well, this was another website which had shown the Moto G3 tech spec, which was the techfrag.com, and here are the specifications. Very much similar things that we observed here too, with showing a 4G enabled LTE model, a Snapdragon 610 processor. The processor was a common thing that we observed between Flipkart and TechFrag. Lastly, let's see GSM Arena. GSM Arena is a very old, reputed and accurate site, and let's see what they had listed. So they have listed the Moto G3 on their website, which is a rumored model. So they have clearly mentioned it being a speculated specification over there. Now right here we are comparing the two, the Moto G 2nd gen and the Moto G 3rd gen, which are listed on GSM Arena. So there both you can see 5-inch screens with a higher PPI on the 3rd gen model, which is a nice thing to observe. That is what we expect. We expect a higher PPI, because that was the one drawback that we observed in the Moto G2, as Moto G1 sported a higher PPI. The operating system, of course, it will come Lollipop out of the box. The processor that you see here is a 1.7 Cortex A53 quad-core processor, which will of course be Snapdragon 610, Adreno 405 GPU again there, internal memory which is 8 or 16 GB, which I feel is really low, RAM 2 GB will be sufficient. Nothing mentioned in detail about the camera on the Moto G3 here on GSM Arena. These are the rumored specs that we found on the net. Now I'll let you know what my expectations are. I expect a 5-inch display with a 441 PPI, a 16 or 32 GB inbuilt storage capacity, and a 2 GB RAM, a 13 megapixel camera primary, 2 megapixel front facing camera with a 1080p capacity of video. An octa-core processor will give that top-notch performance, and out there are many competitors who are sporting a Snapdragon octa-core processor. So if Moto G3 has to compete with them, it is very important to sport an octa-core processor. With Adreno 405 GPU will be good enough, along with a 3000 mAh battery. Lithium polymer, of course, and I feel as consumers you people also look for the same things. Well, now talking about the design aspects, here are all the models of the Moto range after their collaboration with Google. Of course, now Lenovo has took over the company. So firstly we have the Moto G1, the Moto E1, the Moto G2 and the Moto E2, and yes, they are arranged in the way they were released. So if you see the Moto G1 and Moto G2 closely, the camera, flash and the logo, the dimpled Motorola dimple, are arranged in a similar pattern. So not much design changes have been observed apart from the speaker, which On the Moto G1 was on the rear side. Now Moto G2 has front facing stereo speakers, which is a nice thing, and I feel I would love to see that on the Moto G3 as well. If you see the front sides, you see there on the Moto E1 you have the dual speakers. Moto G2 also had the dual speakers, and Moto E did not have the dual speakers. It just had one speaker there right on the top. If you see the Moto G2, Nexus 6 and Moto X2, they look a bit similar from the front. Even if we get that look, I'll be really happy with that. If you see the sides of these cell phones, especially the left hand side where all the buttons are located, you will observe a very similar design and pattern, which is very ergonomic. A little texture change on the power lock and unlock button was seen on the Moto E2, which I really like. That gave the button a really nice feel and touch. So I expect a similar texture on the button quality on the Moto G3. The bottom side, which is best for the charging port. On the top side we have the port for the 3.5mm jack and the noise cancellation mic. The other side of the cell phones have been plain till now, but if we see the volume rockers on this side, it will be really more ergonomic. These three cell phones had the removable back covers, but as the battery is non-removable, the removable black covers only affect the aesthetic aspect. It does not serve any functionality. Well, on the Moto E2, we observed a removable ring and the back cover was completely non-removable. And now that Lenovo has took over Motorola manufacturing, I feel the ring will be metallic. So now if I have to show you my impressions, this is how the cell phone will look like, is what I feel. The Lenovo logo, of course, they won't support it because they're selling the product better as a Motorola product itself. So this is how I expect the front side to look like, and this is the back side with of course a dual LED flash with the oleophobic coating on the back and a removable ring. This is how I feel it will look like.
So guys, these are my impressions on the Moto G3, that is Moto G 2015. These are my conclusions based on all the observations that I've done through the years after using the Moto range. And well, these are my speculations, so I'm not promising you that the Moto G3 will look exactly like this. It may look like this. That is what I'm trying to tell you. And well, these were my impressions on the Moto G3. If you have liked my video, do give it a thumbs up. Do mention your views and your takes on how the Moto G 2015 will look like. I'll be happy to read all your comments, read all your views, and please subscribe to my channel if you like what I'm doing. Well, this was Prasad with Padak, your Indian consumer, signing off. Thank you.